he's getting ready to, tell you some of his deepest secrets, man. He's getting ready to expose a lot of his life, and I respect that. I know a lot of people are gonna be shocked, and the crazy thing is that there's gonna be our family members that are gonna hear stuff from us that they never knew. You see, because like my family, they think they know me, but they really have no idea, and that's because of the life that how we was living. But I want to give you, and with all due respect and high regards to my man Dooley, other known as, the street knows him as Wolf, but the females know him as a teddy bear. No further ado, here's Dooley.
Thank you, my brother. You know I love you, man.
I love you too.
My dog. All right. Man, how y'all doing, man? My government name is Duel Nelson Del Valle. And in the streets of New York, I was known as Dooley and the Wolf and the Big Bad Wolf. So I'm here because, I just want to talk a little bit about my life, about what I've been through and stuff, and G-Rock, yeah, like you said, it's the things I've been through, and like you say, we're from the streets, we grew up in the streets, man, but it comes back to the very moment. Yeah. You know what I mean? The things I went through in life, I feel I have to talk about my life because you don't know how many people out there go through the same thing, but they hold it in, man, and we drown. When we hold that stuff in, we drown. Right. We don't grow like normal kids should. Right. And like I'm gonna start off about, about my early childhood, and a lot of people gonna be like, wow, but that's a handful that know, the truth, See, I was being raped and sodomized by two of my own uncles. Wow. And it started at 3. From 3 to 5, 6 years old. And it was crazy, man, and I still have nightmares, and I'm very, very protective. Especially children. Yeah. I love children and elderly people. You know what I'm saying? I just really do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love people now in general. You know what I mean? But I really, really love kids. And elderly people, man. But growing up, what happened to me, man, it was really bad. It was so bad. It's like I was shut down. I remember. Well, it wasn't. Let me go back real quick. I wasn't the only one in the family having that done to me. I had other uncles, and I'm not gonna mention their name. Just because. I had at least I think it's 3 other uncles who were being abused with me also. And how it was like my father got killed when I was 3 years old. And my mother told me stories about my dad. To go even further, how my life even started messed up, you know, from even before I was born. My father shot my mother in the stomach with a 38 because he said I wasn't his, and she was 7.5 months pregnant.
Wow.
You know, so that's just how.
So it started.
That's
before
how I
you,
came
you
into
mean it started before you became into the world.
That's how I came into the world. That's how I came into the world. You know what I'm saying? And I was born with a skin disorder. It's called ectothermal dysplasia. I have hair. I mean, now I'm baldy, you know, so I keep it bald. But I have full beard and all that. But I have a skin disorder called ectothermal dysplasia, which I grow no hair on my arms. Not one little, nowhere. Just my face.
Yeah, he never,
You know.
he never sweat. Everybody used to be jealous.
So I have some sweat glands, but I have 10% to your 100%. I only sweat in the palm of my hands. I get clammy. I don't sweat. I just get clammy up here. So the heat stays in. So my temperature usually normal. Normal is 99, 100 all the time. You know, they always think I got a slight fever, you know, but no, it's just temperature of my body. But, you know, I sit and think, man, about, you know, it's painful. It's painful to reminisce about it, but I feel it's necessary to help other people.
And you're right. And you know what? You're doing something right now that we just don't want it to be something talked about. We just don't want you to talk about it. We want to see if we can help you heal some of those wounds. So let's just go back, because I don't know if you catch it, but I catch it, because when I went through it, I don't want to go into the specifics of it, and not going through the specifics of it didn't let me heal. You understand? So let's go back to when it happened to you, the first time it happened to you. And
did you tell anybody?
Did you tell anybody?
Why you didn't? If you didn't,
why exactly? Why didn't you? And what came over? Because I know for me, I became cold. Like I was scared. I was closer to my mom's. It was just, it was, I wanted to be protected, but how could I be protected when you're not supposed to say nothing? You know? And then you don't want the same thing happening to you, happening to your brother and sister.
Right.
You see, because they was there, but they right now, they probably bugging out, but I didn't want him to do to them what he did to me, so I let him do it to me. You understand?
You say that, and that's exactly how it happened. Exactly. My little sister, my sister's 2 years younger than me, and that's what they always used. They put a knife to me and said if I didn't do or let them do what they were doing to me, that they were going to do it to my sister, to my little sister, and they would kill her and my mom. You know, and
they went to the extreme.
And yeah, they did. You know, so and yeah, it was crazy. You know, and I know when my sister sees this, she's gonna bug out.
Yeah.
She don't. I never told her.
Right.
You know, a lot of people don't know. You know.
Who says they're gonna believe you?
that's the big problem.
That's the
They're gonna
problem.
believe me. They're gonna believe me because, like I said, there was 3 other uncles of mine who were involved with this that weren't the bad ones. You know, their brothers.
Right.
You know, their older brothers were the ones. You know, but I have other uncles My mom is the oldest of I forget how many, and then she had 3 other brothers who were my favorite uncles. You know, my grandfather's name was Elias, and the oldest boy was Elias Jr. I love him to death. He's still alive. You know, he always protected me. Him, my Uncle Fernando, my Uncle Charlie, who died. You know, I good memories with them. They were my protectors. But you know what's crazy, G and Kev? You know, back in the day, it wasn't talked about.
No, it wasn't.
Even though I think they knew what was going on, they were protecting me to the most they can. But why it wasn't talked about?
Family secrets. It
know?
was an omen.
It's like, right, you know, it's like it's something you don't talk about.
Yeah.
You know, and I stood shut down for so long. You know, and you know, and you know, like I met George when I was like 8 years old. Me and him became friends like instantly. And look at us today. We're 42 years strong of being best friends. I'm 50. He's 50. He's about to be 51.
Yeah.
Oh, you are 50.
Don't tell nobody.
You old, man. I think that's about me all the time.
You know, but yeah, you know, this is not my best friend. I always tell everybody, you know, my brother. When I talk about him, I talk about, I say my little brother. He's actually older than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody knows that.
I say my
Secret's out now.
But you know.
So, Dooley, obviously, you dealt with it in some kind of way because you proceeded with your life. You had kids. What did you do? Did you just forget about it? Did you talk about it? Because I know for me, it took a homosexual to tell me. He told me, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little homophobic in my early stages because it was them that did that to me. But I was, at that point in my life, I was so tired of hurting and being in pain that I actually listened to somebody. And he told me, he said, yo, how long ago that happened to you? I said, about that time, it was like 20 years. And he said, so how you gonna let, why are you gonna let something that happened 20 years ago keep dictating your future?
Yeah.
And that struck something in my head like, wow, it's true.
Right.
And it's because I never, told anybody, talked about it. And at that time, I was in this prison called Clinton Correctional Facility, and you got to do program and stuff like that. And I was in anger management.
I've been there too.
and it came out. It came out because I was just so hurt, and I kind of knew this is why my life turned out the way it turned out. Like, what started it? See, because I don't want to make this about me because I had to connect dots. But that's what I wanted to know about you. Like, did you see a therapist? Did you see a psychiatrist? Or was you one of those that just put it away in Pandora's box and moved on with your life?
That's exactly what I did.
And because shit happened to me too. The question I had to ask you is, after it happened the first time, or even the second time, did you think something was wrong with you? Did you think that what attracted this person to do this to me? Is there something wrong with you? How do you play that in your mind?
Many times I thought about that. And I mean, yeah, I was like, something was wrong with me. Why did they choose me? And then growing up, I was confused. Confused in the sense of, so I didn't know no better. Am I supposed to like boys? It was just a feeling of, of the thought of, what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah. You know
what I'm saying?
What's going on?
This is happening to me, and, I know this on this hand that, boys are supposed to be with girls, but here I am being raped and sodomized by two men, you know what I mean? So am I gay?
Right.
What?
Right.
What's my identity? I was confused for a minute.
And don't let not only that, don't let your penis get hard while they touching you.
Yeah, right. And why was that happening?
Why is your penis getting hard when another man is touching you?
Why?
And let me tell you, that was big issue for me. Because I knew I like women. I'm a nasty motherfucker. but the bottom line is like, why did that happen? And I had to have a therapist explain to me that, listen, that's life. If the wind blows, she said, you're a man. If the wind blows, your dick get hard. So what do you think is gonna happen when somebody touches it?
Right.
And then you're young at that age. You don't know. So yeah, you got mixed communication going on in your brain, and then you still can't talk about it.
Nope, you got to keep it all in.
And you're 8 years old, trying to figure out grown people's answers.
Yep.
You're trying, so. And I want you to understand that the reason why he's explaining this and giving you, occurrences of his life is because we want you to understand why he became who he became. And not using it as an excuse, but let's be real. It was a factor in his life, just like it was in our lives. Everybody dealt with it different. And what's crazy? And I'm gonna start with this, but when I got older, like my age, more like in the 40s and this, I found out that a lot of my peeps, was the same thing was going on.
Right.
But we just grown enough to be now that, and we healed. So I don't think we will always, I just don't let it control me no more.
Right.
I don't let it control me. Am I hurt? Of course. Yeah. Why? You understand? But talking about it is a big relief, and I really appreciate you saying what you said today, because it's helping. Believe me, you're just not helping you. It's helping me and Kev. It's helping other people that probably going through it, went through it, and don't know what to do about it. Right. My suggestion is seek a therapist. I see a therapist right now. Yeah. I love a therapist. Yeah. You could tell them whatever you want, anything you want, and they can't can't say nothing. They can't tell nobody what they're not supposed to tell nobody.
Nothing.
But you don't know when I leave there, I leave like brand new. I leave all my garbage in that office, and when I walk out, I say, well, I got another clean bag that I need to fill up so I could dump next time I come. You know, but I'm sorry, proceed.
Good, you're good. You know, it's exactly how you said, G. I mean, it's hard. You know, we hold it in. You know, and the reason why, I mean, I want to talk about my whole life, like what you said when you approached me about this, and I said, yeah, you know, I really would like, you know, I'm hoping that this would reach. It's somewhat for me of relief, right? But for people who are out there watching this, you know, we've been through it. We're telling you, if you're still going through it now, you need to get help.
Right.
You need to get help.
Yeah.
Okay. I was so, you know, what happened to me just has a big factor of the person who I am.
Right.
I've always been a protector of children and older people. Okay. You know, G, I don't know if you remember when I ran away from home and I never came back. You're the one that caught my bag from the window and that I jumped out.
Yeah.
You remember when I jumped down when I landed? I broke my ankle. And I still.
And let me tell you, I'm not thinking like he's thinking. You see, Dooley, even though I'm a little older than him, he never thought like I thought. You understand? He always was thinking like a grown person. He left. And I'm saying he's gonna run to because we live across the street from this place called Jamie Towers. I thought he was gonna run to Jamie Towers, hide behind the rocks and bushes, because we used to do that. When we wanted to get away and think we was getting away from it, we would go hide back there and we would just talk and get away. But you know what? Reality sensing, we get hungry and we going right back home.
Right.
You understand? But he left. He left me and I didn't see him for years down. And the crazy thing that when we met each other, when we saw each other again, we was in the game. We were both in that lifestyle of getting money.
Deep in the game.
And it's crazy because when we got together, it was like we didn't skip a beat. We hooked up and we started getting money together. But that's the way he always thought. Like he left, and I understand a little more of what made him make those kind of decisions. You understand? Dooley was there. Let me tell you something. A quick story. Dooley was always my protector. Dooley was like he was my bodyguard. Dooley was Eastbourne's Breakers bodyguard, along with another guy named Alan Brown. They were our two bodyguards, and I remember the first time New York City Breakers came to battle us in front of the building, and they came with some big dudes. And Alan came down because we used to have this guy named Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, he was like you got that guy in the building that keeps everybody scared of. Hey, don't you be doing that. Hey, and he sits out the window looking. That was Mr. Brown. But great people. They were great people, but we didn't know respect. You know, they kept us in line, you know? And Alan was a big dude, and he came down, he was like, yo, y'all gonna battle, and that's it. The winner's the winner. Ain't nothing else gonna happen. Because they came bullying us. We was little. They were grown men. And Dooley and put them in check. And that was our bodyguards. From day on, everywhere we traveled with bodyguards.
Wow.
But we was going to Lafayette. I don't even remember this. And now, mind you, I came from Daly Avenue. I was very sheltered. We didn't go outside, nothing. We moved to Castle Hill, Seward Manor. And they let me outside. My parents let me outside, and I didn't know what to do. I had Puerto Rican shirt with collars out to here, shoes, pointy ass shoes, and everybody bullied me, laughed at me because of the way I was dressed. But you couldn't do that to my brother or sister, because I'd get at you. And I don't know what it was, because I wasn't no tough guy. But if you messed with my brother or sister, something just came out of me. And we went, it was snowing, me and Dooley went to Lafayette, going up to that store. What was that store in the back by Lafayette?
Oh, man. Esther's?
Esther's. We snuck out to Esther's. It was snowing, and then we decided to sneak to Lafayette Park. And there we bumped into these dudes from Castle Hill, Castle Hill bullies. And they jumped us. Well, they didn't really jump me. I guess they felt bad because I was so little. But Dooley's always been this size since he was like 5 years old. He's been like that size. So they punched Dooley, but Dooley didn't go down. Dooley fought 3 of them, and they couldn't get him out. So they got tired, and they just let us go. And when we got home, that was my first violent incident that I experienced. And I was so scared that when I got home, I grabbed the knife, I laid down in bed, and I started crying because I was so scared. But after that day, something changed. You know, me and Dooley, make a long story short, Dooley and them became friends.
Wow.
Yeah, there was when Dooley winded up going to 131, wind up catching them one by one, and they all became friends. And then when I seen them walking home together one day, I was like, whoa. Whoa. You know, but getting back to you.
Well, you remember from the time I ran away, I never came back home, man. And it was rough. I was out in the streets, and you know, I met this guy. You know who it is. I don't want to mention no names, you know, and stuff. But started working started hitting the streets, man. You know, hitting the streets up in Rochambeau and Gun Hill. I remember that. And I just don't know. I feel my strength came from my anger.
Right.
From my anger. I was like, everybody always said, you know, I was just like super strong.
Right.
You know, I used to pick up guys 5 times my size.
Yeah, you wasn't normal.
Pick them up and slam them like they were paper. You know, I mean, people always tell me that. You know, and now I'm weak as hell. you know, I'm going through a lot of, you know, a lot of physical stuff. You know, and you know, but this is really me talking, wanting to help people. Like I said, man. You know, and you know, I want to mention how I can remember, I'm going back again. I'm going to be going back and forth, you know, because you're going to bring memories to me that brings back, you know, I can remember my mom used to take me to church, especially when we moved to Seward Manor, right up the road, up on the corner, St. John's Vianney. Yeah. And some of this was still going on because my mom would take me over to my grandfather's house where all this usually happened. back to that, that's where it started. When my father died, when I was mentioning earlier, my father died. He got killed by the police when I was 3. And
Your father got killed in front of you, then?
yeah. So
How was that? What did you feel?
It's memories that I have go in and out, and I remember I'm having other brothers with me, but mind you, I was only 3. So I have these little clips of memories of this.
Did blood splatter on you?
Nah, well,
He was holding his hand, right? Was he holding his hand?
That's what I see in my head.
Yeah.
That's what you
You know what I'm
want.
saying? That's what I see in my head. And I don't know for sure if that's exactly how it happened. You know what I'm saying? But I do know he got killed.
Right.
He got killed in front of me. That was for sure. But my mother gave me stories of that he was abusive. First of all, I mean, he shot my mom's in the stomach this is what she told me when she was pregnant from me, because he had so many other women. And mind you, these brothers that I'm talking about and sisters were from another woman. All of them, thank God, all of them are from the same mother over there
Right.
with my father. And then my father with my mom had me and my sister Lucy. And so like I say, he shot my mom. But she told me the stories of how he used to, and I don't know how true this is, I don't know, that he used to lock us up in a room, and the window used to have one of them old time gates that you pulled and it looked like the diamonds, that they stretch like this. And
I remember those.
Remember those old locks? And he had those padlocks.
Yeah.
And then outside the room, he had a setup where he had us all, like, he used to lock us in. He used to leave a bucket in the middle of the room just for us to use the bathroom. Wow. And this is before I was even 3, so I don't really remember that.
Right.
And my sister was just a baby, and my mom said that if it wasn't that she was breastfeeding her, you know what I'm saying, she probably would have been dead and stuff like that, So when this happened right away, my mom just took us, and how they say, got out of Dodge, she didn't want us to have no relations with my father's side of the family. And so from the day that she got us up and left, that was it. I didn't see none of my brothers and my sister, and my aunts and my grandfather from my father's side and all that. But gee, then, and that's where it started. My grandfather used to be a garbage collector in New York, and then he started his own grocery store, bodega,
Right.
the puppy store, like, let's go to puppies, but my grandfather still had like 7 other kids, right, staying in the house.
Sound like my grandpa.
You know what I'm saying?
My grandpa.
Yeah, and like I said, 2 of those were in and out of prison, and that's where the molestation started there, and then, like I said, I have 3 other uncles. I have a pair of uncles, twins, who are 1 year older than me. So these are my grandfather, right? Mm-hmm. But they're my uncles, my dad's, brothers. And then one that's just 2 years older than me. And the same thing was happening in them.
Wow.
And I can remember, man, they got me, I started doing drugs at 8 years old. I started, doing drugs at 8 years old. Started with marijuana. By 10, I was doing marijuana, cocaine. Even you didn't even know. Until later on, I told you,
Yeah.
And it was because it's the only thing that helped me cope with it, forget. You don't know how many days, man, and it's now, it still happens, but I have more power over it. And let me tell you, man, I want to say, thank God for my wife, Charlene.
Teach. Preach.
Let me tell you, man, I believe that a man is only as good as the woman who helped him be who he is. I believe that.
I believe that too.
I believe that.
Me too. Me too.
Because my wife,
Definitely believe it.
Me too.
because if it wasn't for my wife, I would have been dead. I would have been dead. She's dealt with me. She's been with me. Well, my first wife too. I gotta give her, props for being, being there. She's the mother of my children.
Yeah.
I have two daughters.
She stuck through a lot. She tried.
And yeah, she did. And she'll tell you quick. He was a wonderful father, but an asshole of a husband.
Yeah.
Because of the things that I've been, I was in and out. I would leave for months, weeks and months, but because I was out in the streets.
Right.
Like I said, the streets was the only thing that kept my mind occupied of not remembering, or not wanting to remember what we've been through, what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? And I was, like you said, when it came to the streets, I was a beast.
Yeah.
I was a beast. I ain't take no shorts. When after I left and we bumped head again, it was like we never met. I said, "G, come on, you coming with me?" And you was like, "Well, what you?" And you saw what I had going on, the crew I had, what I did, and we got together, and that's it.
It was
And
crazy,
and what I used to do. What I used to do.
Yeah.
I used to, we used to give product to guys who had neighborhoods, right? Drug neighborhoods. And my thing was, you only had one chance. In fact, you ain't have a chance. I'll tell you from the beginning. You want consignment, here you go. Here you go. Now, don't fuck up. Just don't fuck up.
We use it as an excuse just to take over the block.
That was my model.
That was the whole thing.
That was my model.
Go and give them work and take over the block.
And just, I always hoped they didn't want to pay. And I'm talking about, and this is back in the 80s, I'm talking about giving up $10,000, $15,000 worth of material, $20,000, okay? This is what I'm talking about, all right? I'm talking about heroin, cocaine, crack, whatever it was. And I literally hope you didn't pay up, And, and I'll go into the block by myself. And be like, yo, so you don't got my money? Okay. Well, this is what's going on. This is my block. And I loved it. And let me tell you, like I said, man, I was a beast. I loved it. I loved it when they try to bowl up and be like, oh, well, who you think you are? Because you was going to feel it right there. No, I wasn't talking no more.
And let me say this. And if you listen to this and the real deal about when we was getting money on Brook Ave, you know that some of the dudes that we was fucking with wasn't so tough. But for some reason, the plug ain't always tough. But they the plug. They got the connect. So you deal with them. You understand? So Dooley like basically protected them because he considered them his brother. Like Dooley, when he say he love you, he love you. He didn't care. And the sad part is that he didn't get the same back. And that's facts. He didn't get the same love back. He always over gave. People never really knew what they really had as a friend with Dooley. I did. You know, but me and Dooley, like